God morgon, and that will be the only thing I'll say in Swedish to not make you kind of wiggle your toes. So my name is Gitte. I'm an agile coach. I am about to relocate to Sweden because I love Stockholm. And a part of what I also am is I collect Yodas. And one day I realized, wait, a lot of the things I do is actually the same things as Yoda does. He goes out and he helps people. He teaches people. He mentors people. He coaches people. He's usually really, really calm and nice. But if shit hits the fan, he kicks ass. And that's part of what you need to do as an agile coach. Most of the time, you can just remain calm. You can tell people. You have to talk to them. You have to help them see what they need to learn. You don't want to force them to do things. And Yoda says the same. War does not make one great. No, it doesn't make us great. We don't want to fight people. A lot of people talk about resistance. We don't want that. We want people to embrace and to really use the things we do. So I also used a quote from Yoda. Try not. Do or do not. There is no try. And people will go like, yeah, but don't we want to experiment? Yes, we do. But if you say, okay, I'm going to go try this, you don't put your heart in it. What I want people to do when they experiment, I want them to go all in. I want them to do this wholeheartedly for a week or 2 weeks or however long they decide, and then evaluate. When Luke just tried, he couldn't lift anything, and he actually didn't think it was even possible. And that's another thing we have to do sometimes. We have to show them that this is possible. We are the role models of the people we help. Because if we don't show them what we can do, maybe they won't believe it. So we have to do that as well sometimes. And we have to be careful about what we do. So we are very strong. A lot of what we do, especially if we do like personal coaching, one-to-one coaching, and when we also do our mentoring, we guide people. We lead them in directions. We help them. Sometimes I have people who feel like, how did you know this? How did you read my mind? So I do use Jedi tricks. I try not to reveal them. And Yoda says the same. A Jedi uses the Force for defense or protection. He does not use it for attack. And with the powers that we have, with the influence that we have in the organizations, we can choose to go in and attack. We can choose to go in and put this influence in and affect people really, really hard. Or we can choose to use it for good. We can choose to use it if we need to for defense, but most of the time to educate people to do wisdom. And Pippi says the same. She is my favorite Swedish person. She says, the one who is strong also has to be nice. When we are strong, when we have these powers, we have influence. Most of us will be able to stand in front of people and talk. That is something that not everyone can do. We have these powers, we need to use them in a good way. And Yoda does this all the time. He helps people, he guides people, he starts with the kids. We start with people who've never heard about Agile before. And then he moves on, and at some point, sometimes he has a Padawan. Sometimes we have Padawans. Sometimes we have a Scrum Master, a young Agile coach. Other people, like one of the things I do is I coach young women who want to speak in public and who's really afraid of it. So I have my Padawans. And one of the things Yoda always says is, patience, you must have, my Padawan. It takes time. If we just go and say, hey, you know what, it's actually quite easy. You just stand up there and there's nothing to worry about. People are really nice. That's not going to be helpful. We need to do things slowly. And I mean, Yoda's more than 900 years old. But judge me by my age, you should not. So he has all this wisdom. We have all this wisdom that we collected. But to be able to hand it over to other people, we need them to have the patience to do these things. One of the things I worked a lot with recently is psychological safety. And people go like, yeah, but I tell people it's safe. That doesn't work. It takes a long, long time to build trust and safety. What they say in Spanish is that trust comes in by foot and leaves by horse. It takes a long time to build trust. It takes a long time to build safety. And it's really, really fast to throw it out the door. And you need to keep practicing. Just as Yoda kept practicing for more than 900 years before he died. So we need to have all these things where we go in and we help people. Slowly building, otherwise it's not gonna be sustainable. We talk so much about sustainable pace, we suck at it. We suck at it when we do our work, but we also suck at it when we talk about learning. It takes time to learn. We cannot take in very much. We can actually only listen for 50 minutes. Research shows that that's when our brain stops listening. We can only focus for 50 minutes. We should actually take a break every 50 minutes. You need to take things slow sometimes. You need to do nothing, as Bjørn said yesterday. So in many ways, Yoda is an agile coach. And he makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. He should not have let Luke face Darth so early. Well, you have to practice your Jedi skills sometimes. So Yoda let Luke face Darth Vader way too soon. He wasn't ready for it. Or you could say also that the Skywalker men are really weak. I mean, Anakin was weak, Luke is weak. They're all really weak. Kylo Ren is weak. But we need to help them to become strong. The people we help, we need to help them to become strong. And we need to be there to help them if they fail. And sometimes we need to let them go. We need to let them face that Darth Vader or whatever they need to face and let them fail. That's one of the hardest part of being an agile coach, is actually looking at people and you know they're going to fail. If they fail big, if you kind of know this is going to be a total disaster, I will go in and help them. If they can fail just semi-big, I will let them fail. And you need to do that. That takes patience. It takes a long time to learn how to keep your mouth shut. I think that's actually the skill I had to practice the most, is to be quiet and to listen. But actually listen is a Jedi skill. If you truly listen to people, if you focus all your attention on that person, on what's going on in the room, of the mood they're in, you will start reading minds. Because all of a sudden, you will start sensing them. You will start figuring out what's going on. And if they know someone is really listening to them without judgment, they will start speaking. Because it's very, very rare to have someone actually listen to us. When was the last time you really properly listened? Not to answer, not to learn, but just to listen to that person and take in their words. We don't do this very much. It takes time. You have to be patient, as any Jedi. And you can only be a true master if you live for many years. Yoda practiced this. I don't expect to be 900 years. But, you know, with modern technology, you never know. But I keep seeing every year I get better at not helping people. I get better at having them ask for help. I get better at offering them help. I get better at giving them options. In the beginning, I thought agile coaching was about teaching them Scrum. I love Scrum. It's still like, if the world was perfect, I would only do Scrum, because it has these nice little boxes. And within these nice little boxes, you can just do whatever you need to do. It's perfect. Except we're not perfect. The world is not perfect. Whatever we do is not perfect. Our clients are not perfect. It's a really nice tool, but it's just a tool. So part of becoming a proper Jedi is also you need to figure out that there are tools out there. Sometimes you use coaching. Sometimes you use mentoring. Sometimes you need to put up a fight and saying, hey, this is what things are. But just remember, when you use the Force, always use the Force for good. So thank you very much. I choose to only have 2 slides. The other one is, if maybe it works this way, is feel free to contact me. Even though I'm really good at being quiet, I'm also really good at talking and connecting. So thank you very much for listening.